Money does not just change what you can buy. It physically rewires the neural pathways inside your skull. Neuroscientists have been scanning the brains of people at every income level for over a decade now. And what they found is disturbing. Your net worth is not just a number in your bank account. It is a chemical state in your brain. And today, we are going to walk through every single level. From negative net worth all the way up to $5 million and beyond. Let us begin. Chapter 1. Negative net worth. The survival brain. When you owe more than you own, your brain enters a state that neuroscientists call chronic threat detection. Your amygdala, the almond-shaped fear center deep in your temporal lobe, becomes hyperactive. A 2020 study from Princeton found that people in debt showed 40% more amygdala activation when presented with financial decisions compared to debt-free individuals. 40% more fear response just from owing money. Your cortisol levels, the primary stress hormone, run 20 to 30% higher when you carry debt. This is not occasional stress. This is a permanent chemical bath your neurons are soaking in every single day. And here is what makes it truly devastating. Chronic cortisol literally shrinks your prefrontal cortex. That is the part of your brain responsible for planning, impulse control, and rational decision-making. So the very part of your brain you need to get out of debt is being destroyed by the debt itself. It is a neurological trap. Sendhil Mullainathan at Harvard demonstrated that financial scarcity reduces cognitive bandwidth by the equivalent of 13 IQ points. That is the same cognitive hit as pulling an all-nighter or being a chronic alcoholic. Decision fatigue compounds this further. When every single purchase requires mental calculation, when you are constantly choosing between gas and groceries, your willpower depletes like a battery draining to zero. Research shows the average person in debt makes 35,000 microfinancial decisions per year. Each one drains cognitive resources. By evening, the brain is running on fumes. This is why people in debt make worse decisions at night. They overspend online after 9 p.m. They agree to bad deals when exhausted. They eat junk food because choosing healthy requires cognitive energy they have already spent on financial survival. The scarcity mindset is not a personality flaw. It is a neurological state caused by financial pressure. Mullainathan proved this definitively. Give the same person money and their cognitive function measurably improves within weeks. The brain heals when the pressure lifts. Chapter 2. $0 to $10,000. The relief phase. The moment your net worth crosses zero, something remarkable happens in your nervous system. For the first time in months or years, your baseline cortisol begins to drop. You stop waking up at 3 in the morning with that knot in your stomach. Your sleep architecture improves. Deep sleep phases lengthen. REM cycles normalize. I remember the first time I had $2,000 in savings. It was not life-changing money. But the feeling was indescribable. Like someone had been standing on my chest for years and finally stepped off. Neurologically, your prefrontal cortex starts coming back online. The rational planning center that was suppressed by chronic stress begins to regenerate. You can think clearly again. Studies show that even a $500 buffer reduces financial anxiety by 44%. At $5,000, anxiety drops by over 60%. The first dollars saved have the highest psychological return on investment of any money you will ever accumulate. And here is the compounding effect nobody talks about. When your brain is calm, you make better decisions. Better decisions lead to more money saved. More money saved leads to an even calmer brain. It is an upward spiral. You start noticing opportunities you were blind to before. A side project. A better job posting. An investment idea. Scarcity made you tunnel-visioned. Relief opens your peripheral awareness. Your spending patterns shift without conscious effort. You stop impulse buying because the dopamine hit from retail therapy is no longer needed to mask financial pain. You buy less but choose better. The data is remarkable. People who cross from negative to positive net worth reduce impulse spending by 38% within 6 months. Not through willpower. Through reduced anxiety. Calm brains do not crave quick fixes. Chapter 3. $10,000 to $100,000. The confidence zone. Something shifts in your psychology around the $10,000 mark. You develop what researchers call financial self-efficacy. The belief that you can handle what life throws at you. Your risk tolerance increases measurably. Not recklessly. But you can finally invest in index funds without panic selling at the first dip. You can negotiate salary because walking away is no longer financial suicide. The Stanford marshmallow experiment showed that delayed gratification predicts success. But what they did not tell you is that delayed gratification is dramatically easier when you are not financially desperate. Willpower is a luxury of the financially stable. A 2019 replication study found that when you control for socioeconomic status, the marshmallow effect nearly disappears. Children from stable homes could wait easily. Children from unstable homes grabbed immediately. It was never about character. It was about security. Between $10,000 and $100,000, your brain undergoes measurable changes. Dopamine sensitivity normalizes. You stop needing retail therapy because your baseline happiness is no longer in deficit. Compound decisions start working in your favor. You buy quality items that last instead of cheap replacements every few months. You invest in your health because you can afford the gym and fresh food. Each good decision makes the next one easier. Your social circle begins to shift naturally. Not because you become elitist, but because confidence attracts different people. You gravitate toward others who think long-term. And that environment accelerates everything. Your relationship with failure changes. At $10,000 saved, a failed side project is a learning experience, not a catastrophe. You can experiment. You can try things. Failure becomes data instead of disaster. This is the wealth-building acceleration zone. Good decisions compound. Better health leads to more energy. More energy leads to better work. Better work leads to higher income. Higher income leads to more savings. The flywheel is spinning. Chapter 4. $100,000 to $500,000. Quiet power. This is where the abundance mindset stops being a self-help cliché and becomes your actual neurological reality. Your brain has accumulated enough evidence of financial safety that it rewrites its core operating assumptions. Saying no becomes effortless. That client who disrespects your time? Gone. That job with the toxic boss? You can walk away tomorrow. The power of no is the most underrated benefit of wealth. Opportunity recognition sharpens dramatically. Your reticular activating system, the brain's attention filter, starts flagging opportunities instead of threats. You see the same world differently because your brain is no longer in defense mode. You start receiving what feels like luck but is actually pattern recognition. Your brain, freed from survival processing, can now detect subtle signals in conversations, markets, and relationships that point toward opportunity. Luck is preparation meeting a calm mind. At this level, research shows your time preference shifts dramatically. You think in 5 to 10 year horizons instead of paycheck to paycheck. This single cognitive shift is worth more than the money itself. You stop comparing yourself to people above you and start feeling genuine gratitude. The hedonic treadmill slows down. You buy fewer things but enjoy them more deeply. Your relationships improve because you are no longer bringing financial stress into every interaction. Arguments about money, the number one cause of divorce, virtually disappear. But here is the subtle danger at this level. You can become complacent. The comfort is so pleasant that growth stalls. Many people park here forever, which is fine. But know it is a choice, not a ceiling. Your brain at this level has achieved what psychologists call psychological safety. Maslow's hierarchy is satisfied through the first 4 levels. Only self-actualization remains. And that requires a different kind of